One of the most exciting teams, and maybe the most exciting team in the Big East Conference last year, was the Marquette Golden Eagles, finishing 500 in conference play despite being the youngest team in Division I. And I am joined right now by Marquette head coach and Marquette great as a player, Carolyn Kieger. You don't have to be humble. You knew you were, you're pretty good, and we're pretty good early on this century. First of all, thank you so very much for joining us. Last year, your team was so young, and you just had to deal with the potential, and you turned it into production. So what is the outlook this year? Does your mentality change in terms of how you approach the season, knowing that all your young players have a year under their belts?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think so. We're hungry, and we want to be a postseason team. So everything that we're doing in every workout, every weight room session has that goal in mind. So last year was more about the process and getting better. This year is about coming into the scene and making our own.
When did you feel during the season that your extremely young team was really starting to get it?
Probably about the start of conference play. Non-conference was rough. We had a lot of learning moments. We had a lot of growing pains, but it kind of came together, and our chemistry got better, and the learning experiences and all the teaching that we were doing, I think, was starting to pay off.
You now, this season with Marquette, a very ambitious schedule. First month of the year, you play a Arizona State team that has made deep runs in the NCAA tournament. You play Oregon State in Corvallis, a team that made the Final Four last year. Wisconsin Green Bay is one of the best teams in the Horizon League and has done very well. University of Wisconsin as well. Jonathan Sippis now at the University of Wisconsin from George Washington. Was that something that you really wanted to? Was that something that you wanted to do, knowing that your team may very well be good this year, or is it just kind of it just so happened that this was your schedule?
Well, I think, if our goal is to play in the NCAA tournament, then we definitely have to prepare ourselves. And I think our schedule will do just that. Oregon State was Final Four last year. Green Bay is always a perennial, RPI top 25 game, and Arizona State's obviously a very good program as well. So for us, having those games, I think it's going to give us an early test and prepare us for Big East play. How
do you ground your team now, or do they need to be grounded, given that they're hearing that they were the youngest team, they did so well in conference play, or 500 in conference play? I'm sure they want to do a little better than that, but they know that there are expectations for this team. How do you ground them?
Well, I think they do a great job staying humble and staying hungry. We have very high aspirations for them, and they have it for each other. So they just want to keep working, and they want to earn it. They don't want it to be handed to them. So I think every day we have a mentality, everything is earned, nothing is given. And that's what we go in every practice thinking.
How much pride do you have coaching this team, not just because of the players that you have, but coaching at your alma mater?
It's pretty hard to put into words. Honestly, it's a dream come true, and to be at a place that you do have so much pride in, it's every day that you feel like you're doing your dream job and you're blessed.
You spent some time coaching at the University of Miami, correct? Under Katie Meyer. What did you learn from Katie? She's one of the top kind of X's and O's coaches in the country.
Pretty much everything. She was a great mentor to me. She still is. I learned pretty much everything there is in terms of diving into X's and O's, diving into recruiting, player management, player development, and she really taught me how to come into my own, how to be confident, and how to just manage an entire roster. So I have a lot of respect, and I always will have her as a friend and a mentor.
So are we not going to see a Marquette Miami game sometime soon?
Probably not. That might get a little too heated.
A little too heated?
We're both very competitive.
Carolyn Kieger, head coach of the Marquette University Golden Eagles women's basketball team. Carolyn, thank you so very much for the time. Best of luck and success to you and the Golden Eagles in 2016-2017.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.